Shika bum bum, shika bum bum, shika bum bum. Okay, so we've been able to spend the last 10 days in Bali and it has been just absolutely amazing.
One of the first things we noticed, traffic in Bali is the Wild West.
If you want to get around, just use Grab. It's way cheaper than a taxi and it really wasn't expensive like at all.
It's like Uber.
Yeah.
Essentially, except way cheaper
yeah.
here. The other thing we noticed when getting to Bali is that it is beautiful. You see in the middle of the road in an intersection will be a huge statue of like a Hindu deity or something. It's super ornate, super elaborate and beautiful. And it's also very green. There are trees and shrubbery everywhere, even in the main city. Like the whole place was built in a jungle.
So speaking of forests, one of the first things that we did...
Jungles. Speaking of cacti.
Speaking of jungles, one of the first things that we did was go to the monkey forest. And the cool thing about the monkey forest is that our driver was telling us that it was built in the 13th century. So that was a long time ago. So this was really fun. Right when you walk in, you just immediately see all these monkeys. And it's kind of important to make sure that you're not wearing anything loose like sunglasses or have water bottles around because the monkeys will take them.
This place is surreal. It's like Donkey Kong in real life. I mean, or like Temple Run, where you walk around and it's literally these like ancient ruinic type temples dedicated to some Hindu gods, and there are monkeys everywhere.
And wild.
Yeah, and they actually, the legend is that these monkeys guarded the temple from like evil spirits and influences and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Very cool. So while we were there, it actually started raining like super hard. And so we were underneath this like cabana thing with two monkeys. And we're just like waiting out the rain. These monkeys just chilling there. We're just like, hi. But we finally just decided to just run out and take it for what it was worth and got soaked. And so we're like waiting underneath this like thing in front of a massage place. And this lady comes out and she's like, you want a massage?
In the United States, we have $5 pizza. Here they have $5 massages.
So so we're like, yeah, sure, we'll go and get massages. And I'm standing in there and she's like, okay, take your clothes off. And then just stands there. And I'm like, well, okay, when in Bali, and just stripping off my clothes in front of this lady. And then when you're laying on the bed, she's like climbing all over you to massage you.
She's not as used to it as I am.
Stop it. Still the best $5 I ever spent. But anyway, while we were also there, Theo wanted to get a massage, but he was kind of nervous to be there for like a whole hour, so we just did 15 minutes, and he was just like, so nice.
Yeah, he was in heaven.
So
one thing that was actually disappointing to us about Bali, there are way more things that are good about Bali than bad. But Bali has gotten pretty Instagram famous. One of the things that we did here was go visit a waterfall, Kanto Lampo waterfall, which I had never heard of, but apparently all of Instagram has heard of it. And when we got there, we are first greeted by some amazing waterfalls, just beautiful, cascading everywhere you look, beautiful waterfalls.
Most people weren't paying attention to the waterfalls, though.
Unfortunately, you look down and the water all flows down to the bottom, where you just see an endless sea of dudes and chicks and tripods and camera crews and you name it.
Waiting for their turn to take a sexy pic in the waterfall.
In line. It was just crazy. It was wild.
It was kind of disheartening to see this wonderful place that's extremely beautiful being taken for just a picture. This part was actually really enlightening for us because it made us think about what we wanted for our travels and what we wanted our kids to experience. And it was more than just what is famous on Instagram. Even though a lot of those places are totally worthy of being Instagram famous.
Right.
We want it to be more and
less exploited, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey.
We got a monkey with us.
Oh,
yeah.
And a toothbrush. Nice.
You can have the toothbrush.
You can have the toothbrush. Another one of these places that were really cool was the Rice Terraces. And they're actually right next to where we were staying up in North Ubud. And the Rice Terraces, again, gorgeous. They're amazing. And we weren't even there at the best time to see them. At the time they're about to be harvested. It was just like planting season.
Yeah.
But the terraces were breathtaking. Regardless though, good or bad day, I could always look forward to getting home and having a nice plate of mie goreng. That was like my favorite ever and made the diarrhea
Have
worth
you
it.
gone a day without getting mie goreng?
No.
He's got it
I've
every
literally
day.
had it every day. Sometimes with chicken, sometimes with like shrimp.
Yeah. All right, everyone say goodbye, Bubba. Goodbye.
Bye. Good job, Bubba. Bye.
Okay, so kind of last minute, we changed our plan so that we went over to this little island called Nusa Lembongan. And
Based on a tip from some new friends of ours in Australia, Rob and Cleo. Thank you.
so what was cool about Nusa Lembongan is going snorkeling, and we did that day one of being there. And this has the most gorgeous coral ever, and the water was so insanely clear.
Yeah.
And we also saw dolphins jumping in and out of the water. We actually tried to catch them. Our driver,
Not catch them, catch up to them.
we tried to catch up with them, and our boat driver like would bring us around, but they would get kind of spooked by the engine, so he'd bring us around and then we'd jump out and try swimming to them, but we didn't catch them, unfortunately.
We got a lot of jellyfish though.
In the face.
Yeah. One thing that we learned about being in our travels is that not all jellyfish are dangerous. So you jump in the water and it's terrible because you'll see 3 or 4 different breeds of jellyfish, and you're just swimming through dozens of them, just hoping that
You're
the
like,
ones that are
"Is this gonna kill me?"
brushing across your face and shoulders and stuff are not gonna like kill you.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky, what a feeling. 'Cause I feel like dancing high, got a feeling, time to feel it. This is where it all begins.
is actually a place where we got brave enough to rent a scooter. We rented 2. Devin had the kids, 1 on each side, and then I just drove by myself. And so maybe that makes us bad parents. I don't know. Maybe.
At least we're not letting them drive.
Yeah, that's true. We saw 7-year-olds driving. And one of the coolest things that we saw. Go back! Maybe put him in his back and play with all of his bread.
Say bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. That's a spanking for keeping coming over here. Something you can do every day if you want to in Nusa Lembongan is go check out the sunset at Devil's Tear. You'll see possibly one of the most beautiful sunsets of your life, and you'll see little crabbies walking around and, you know, with their little pinchers.
The rocks are just like super pikey.
Pikey?
So it's kind of hard to get around on.
What's pikey?
Like spiky.
Oh, spiky. Okay, sorry.
So it's kind of hard to walk around on, but it was just absolutely gorgeous. The waves would come up and hit the rocks, and it was just really, really pretty. Okay, so our last stop in Bali is Kuta, and we ended up booking this hotel that we're staying at like super last minute. We looked it up in the morning and booked it because we had nowhere else to stay that night, but it has been the best surprise ever and the best hotel we've ever stayed at.
We just came here so that we'd be close to the airport on the way out, and it was totally an afterthought, but it's the best hotel I've ever been to.
So it's called the Kana Kuta, and it's amazing. So you're checking in and they give you this little welcome drink. It's a passion fruit drink, and then these little snacks which are like eclairs with chocolate in them, and they're delicious.
We've been trying to find them in town to see if we can recreate that experience.
They're so good.
But
they've also got an amazing restaurant, and the food is actually not that expensive either, but it is so yummy. Devin had the most amazing fish basket, and breakfast is so good. Like, it's a buffet of the most delicious breakfast food you've ever seen and tasted in your life. So yummy.
yeah, our hotels at home need to step up their game.
Yeah. So that's our time in Bali.
Family, friends, new friends that we've met out here, thank you, and we love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
You're a stinkers. You've been nothing but a stinkers.
That's why you're in your little
time.
prison there.
No, we.
No, we.
You just hear Bo.
Bye.
Bye.